Good morning. Good. This is reconstituting some lost footage that we had just previously, only 10 minutes ago. We will go ahead and link the last video to this one, but suffice it to say, we have rather heated individuals within a nation. Most of the congregated pedestrians have already left, or if they have not, Jericho is going to go ahead and that they're not back to one of the more janitorial hatches or rooms. In any case, the conversation previously was.
Look, my point is that you keep saying that, you know, you can be trusted and everything, and then you go off and you do something like this. I almost didn't go into work because I was worried. Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
No, I understand. Things for that particular investigation are what is why beforehand I kind of asked the group what you guys were willing to do and what we were here to do, and I was simply trying to make sure to do my part so that the rest of you could do your part. I remember that I had to give pretty much a thesis on every single herb and spice to that elderly gentleman, just so that he would stay with me so that the rest of you could do your own business. I didn't want that to happen. I tried to keep him away from the rest of you as long as possible, just by simply talking to him. I think it's been a while since we had any type of conversation like that.
Apparently it's been a really
without
long
having
time.
to forget it afterwards.
According to people who came to talk to me this afternoon, apparently he's forgotten quite a bit. Possibly, I think, given when Sister Alicia's notes dropped off, he's probably been forgetting months, but again, when I take people there, I am responsible for them as well. Well, at this stage, it's not like we can really do anything about who's involved.
Tell me about these two gentlemen. How did they, well, I figure I know how they got hold of it, but describe them, and what were their interest?
One guy, he looked a bit like he was from the Matrix. The other guy was wearing a hakama. Had a scar over his eye, kind of strange hair. Listen, they were very nice, but they made it quite frankly clear that they were going to be watching that particular church to see if anything happened from now on.
Let them watch.
We're going to have to go back, though.
You may not need to bring me. Look,
I don't know.
if this is causing you such an issue, why don't you just go ahead and pile all the blame on me? That's what people usually do.
Because you're not the only one to blame. I am too. As I said, you all were my responsibility when I brought you into that church. And again, I didn't exactly say don't tase anybody. Now, I didn't exactly imagine that that would be an issue. Obviously, I should have thought of it. Or at least, apparently, I should have thought of it.
Look. I can't change what I did. I have my own reasons for doing it, but apparently they didn't pan out too well, and apparently I caused more trouble than I helped. But please tell me I wasn't talking to that Oliver fellow about brownies for about 30-odd minutes just so that you could get nothing.
We got something. First off, the MacArthurs were connected to the Chantry.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, they'd been involved in charity drives. They'd come over for tea with Sister Alicia. She ran the Chantry a few times. They'd come over for tea a few times. If, from what I know of my order, we get involved in charity work a lot. Bigger the city, more opportunities. It is possible, although not probable, that she knew that something was up with their charity efforts. Also, the node is faulty in the Chantry. And when I say weak, and when I say that, I don't mean weak. I mean something is wrong with it. It felt a bit like if you take a violin and you just run like a saw over the strings. That's what it would sound like.
So it's not a matter of the string having the perfect pitch being tightened just the way. It's the idea that some blunt instrument has just been whacking at it.
It feels wrong. It feels like everything is good, but something is gone wrong. I don't know if that's connected in any way.
Mm-hmm. So we have a faulty node. We have the connections with the MacArthur and their charity work with sister. What was her name again?
Alicia.
Alicia. Gotcha. Now it's in the memory banks.
But really, it is right. There is a connection between all these things. But we also found Nisi's gonna take out her phone. We found somebody else has been in the Chantry, who's not us, and who wasn't me, and who wasn't Oliver or the kid. A spirit described him as a very militaristic look, and we found sort of heavy footprints, kind of like boots. One second. How many pictures can your phone receive at once?
What looks to be a brick.
Well, let's hope it's got some good memory.
This is my burner phone.
Nisi's gonna kind of like do a couple of taps.
Virgo goes ahead and address and hands it over to you. That's my email address.
Okay. She takes it. We found a book that the guy was looking at. It was not particularly good. The subject was mostly cosmology, but we don't know who this other person was. He didn't ring any particular bells. But
Okay.
also, when they
So
were
we
talking,
have an unknown.
yes, an unknown, pretty much. The spirit we were talking to said that there used to be a lot of people in the Chantry, but then he left and he came back. Sometimes saints' relics get shuffled between churches, and I think that might be what happened. But he kind of said that, or at least from what I understood, I couldn't hear him talking. From what I understood, there used to be a lot more people there, and of course they're gone now.
All right. This is all good stuff. Doesn't explain a mass exodus or a mass disappearance, but it's all good stuff. They're all pieces in the puzzle.
Nisi's gonna kind of nod, put her phone away. All right, I've got to get going. I don't think the police know who you are, but it definitely won't look good if. But it definitely won't look good if they see me talk. But they do know who I am, most likely.
I have plenty of experience dodging the authorities. I've gotten used to it.
There's no point with me. If they find me, they find me. The most they'll be able to get out is I was probably in the church at the time. Without somebody to credibly point me.
Fair dues, fair dues. I'll go ahead and look over this book that you're sending me. What is subject generally? Cosmology, but what kind of cosmology? There are a lot of different branches in the world tree and a lot of different roots that go deep.
I didn't understand it very much. I think Connor understood it more. Basically, when we thought we didn't have much time, we heard you coming down to the library, we started photographing every page.
All
Um,
right, all right.
and Nisi's gonna kind of.
How about places that you went ahead and investigated? What kind of clues or ideas did you get there? In fact, how did you figure out the MacArthur link?
We found Sister Alicia's office. We went through some of the papers there. She'd been keeping records of people she'd been meeting with, things like that. And that's when we found that if you rearrange the books in a certain way on shelf, then that leads to the sanctum where the note is kept.
Interesting, interesting. Was she keeping a record of certain people, or an appointment book, or just did she have any weird notes to her?
Nothing that seemed particularly out of the ordinary. Just something someone with a busy schedule might jot down things on pieces of paper. Leave them out. Like, I'm going to be doing
Any?
this. Um,
Mm-hmm.
she's, she did, I believe, have an accounting of certain sums given to charities. I can't think too much more than that.
Money? It's
Yeah.
cool.
Donations, things like that.
Fair dues. I'm gonna guess that you took some of these files for your own records.
Well, when the passage opened on the other, and no, I didn't. The passage opened up and I forgot about it.
There it is. Okay. Fair enough. We have a few bits of clues and information. They would have been great.
What was the foundation that the MacArthurs were running, by the way?
In fact, you cover the story. Them told.
No, I mean the name.
But
Sorry?
they're then a bit close. All right. To refresh what was said, Jericho has simply said, "All right, take those records for ourselves to find if we missed anything. But we have what we have. We have a book. We have what you remember. We have and apparently a faulty node. Doesn't explain a lot, but at least we have something."
Don't worry. I have a good memory. I'll write down everything. It's one of the reasons I got into journalism. And she kind of starts to make for the stairs to go up, and she pauses before she goes. And she kind of looks at her, she goes, "Jericho, look. In my religion, we believe a lot in forgiveness and second chances. Alright? I need you to know that, and I need you to know what that means before we go too much further. And I need you to know that that's what I believe too."
You forgive your brother 7 times? No, I know 7 times 77 times.
Which is the Hebrew way of saying forever. We also believe that the people actually have to want it. Nisi's gonna turn around and head the rest of the way up the stairs.
Believe me, I'm being very. There are. Believe me, Jericho says again. I'm being very penitent right now. I know when I make mistakes. I know it very, very painfully.
Nisi's gonna kind of nod again, and then she's gonna leave.
Leaving Jericho to do as he is wont to do. He has a few more pieces of information. He certainly has the evidence still at his own makeshift chantry. But for now, we'll go ahead and leave this scene to a close. Thank you, watchers, for watching. Thank you for pretty much forgiving us for our technical difficulties. And thank you, players, for playing. Y'all have a good night.